CAT 2024 Slot 1 LRDI puzzle number 4. The puzzle says the chart below provides complete information about the number of countries visited by Dheeraj, Samantha and Nitesh in Asia, Europe and rest of the world. 3 countries, 3 different people. And this is a very important thing when they say complete information provided here in the graph. So let's first of all, without wasting any time, summarize. As we always say in the CAT, it is very, very important to summarize and understand each and every instruction. So the first instruction, the complete information. So let's go ahead and make a chart for this. First of all, let's make a small table for it. So here comes the table. On the left hand side, we have written the names of the 3 persons, Dheeraj, Samantha, and Nitesh, and on the top, the countries they are visiting. Now let's summarize the information of the graph. As per the graph, Dheeraj has visited Asia, 3 countries, Europe, 7 countries, and in rest of the world, only 1. In Samantha, if I talk about Asia, she did not visit any country. Please understand why I'm writing 0, because at the top they said it's a complete information. So Samantha has visited Europe, 9 countries. In rest of the world, 4 countries. Nitesh, Asia 1, Europe 6, and rest of the countries world, that is 12. So let's write this information there. For Asia, Dheeraj, we have 3. Samantha, we have 0. Nitesh, we have 1. Europe, for Dheeraj, we had 7. 9, Samantha. 6, Nitesh. And for Dheeraj, we have 1 in rest of the world. 4 for Samantha. And 12 we have for the USA, for Nitesh. Now let's go for the rest of the information which we have. Now they say the following additional information also known about. First, 32 countries visited by them, at least one of them, at least that means union. So in total, in Asia, Europe and rest of the world, there should be 32 countries, unique countries I mean. The first information we have, there are 32 countries in total. In Asia, Europe and rest of the world. The next information, USA in rest of the world is the only country that was visited by all 3 of them. The USA is the only country. That means no other country was visited by all of them. So this one country which we have for Dheeraj, this is definitely USA. And the number only is 1. Here also we have 1 country out of the 4, USA. And for Nitesh also we have 1 country which is USA. The next information, China is the only country that was visited by both Dheeraj and Nitesh, but not by Samantha. So Samantha did not visit China. Of course, she can't, because in Asia we have only Dheeraj and Nitesh visiting the countries, not Samantha. Now Samantha is 0, Nitesh is 1. That means this one country has to be China. This is 1 that has to be China. In these 3 countries which Dheeraj visited in Asia, 1 has to be China. The next one. So we are writing every information, we are noting it down. So we should not waste our time and we should start solving the puzzles right away with all the clues in front of us at one place, and that also in numbers, because numbers speak to the brain better. France in Europe is the only country outside Asia which was visited by both Dheeraj and Samantha and not by Nitesh. Now they said France is the only country outside Asia. So this includes Europe and rest of the world. So France in Europe is the only country. Dheeraj and Samantha both. So Dheeraj and Samantha, they both visited France. And we talk about Samantha. But if we talk about Nitesh, he did not visit it. So he did not visit it. Next information which we have to write down all the information first at one place so we can understand this puzzle quite well. Then half of the countries visited by both Samantha and Nitesh are in Europe. Now let's start solving this. In total, we can say if we talk about Dheeraj, he has visited 3 plus 7, 10 plus 1, 11 total countries. Sam has visited 13. Nitesh has visited 1 plus 6, 7, 7 plus 12, 19. So the total comes out to be 43. And if I talk about the number of countries, not unique, but the number of visits, I should say. So in Asia, we had total 4 visits. In Europe, we have 7 and 9, 16 and 6, 22. And in US, rest of the world, we have 1 plus 4, 5 plus 12, 17. So this all make 43, but we have the number of countries 32. That means there are countries which are being visited multiple times. Of course, first example, we have USA. Second example, we have China. Third example, we have France. There's no other country name given to us. But yes, there are more countries, that's for sure. Let's start solving the question straight away. The first question we have, if the cat, if I'm sitting in the exam, I'll do the first question straight away. How many countries in Asia were visited by at least one of Dheeraj, Samantha, and Nitesh? So, how many countries are there at least? So, if I talk about in Asia, they have visited 4 countries. How many are unique? Out of 4, China is repeated. That means the 2 more countries has to be there. That means in Asia, we have 3 countries. Unique countries, not the visits. Please understand that. There are 43 visits, but the number of countries in Asia, we have only 3 unique. So that is the answer to my first question straight away. So I am done with my first question. The second question we have in the exam now. How many countries in Europe were visited by only by Nitesh? Now for that, let's go back. In Europe, only by Nitesh. So there was one information which we have not used yet. Now that's going to help us here, which is half of the countries visited by both Samantha and Nitesh were in Europe. That means half they have visited in Europe, half they have visited in rest of the world. In rest of the world, they can visit 4 because USA has visited only by all the 3 people, all the 3 persons, Dheeraj, Samantha, and Nitesh. So one country in the rest of the world by Samantha is USA. The rest 3 has to be with the Sam and Nitesh, with the Nitesh also. That means if one country was taken in unique, then 3 countries here, apart from USA, and 3 countries for Nitesh has to be same because it's clearly said in this line France is the only country outside Asia which was visited by both Dheeraj and Samantha. And the line before this, China is the only country that was visited by Dheeraj and Nitesh. That was also made. So it's clear indication to us that the rest of the 3 countries that we have in Samantha and Nitesh, they both visited that country. Now that make the unique countries total. One is USA, which is common here. That means I can take 4 from here, and the 4 are matching. That means 4, and out of 12, 4 gonna be having a common visitor. The rest should be 8. So there are show total 12 countries which are unique. Out of these 12, one is USA. The other 3 are being visited by both Samantha and Nitesh, and the rest 8 countries are unique, which are being visited by only Nitesh. I believe this point is quite clear. It was straightforward. Then they said Half of the countries visited by both Samantha and Nitesh are in Europe. So Samantha and Nitesh, half of the countries were in Europe. That means in Asia there's none. In rest of the world, they have three countries which are visited only by them, not by Dheeraj. And the fourth country, they have USA, which is visited by all three. That means that will also be included for Sam and Nitesh because they did not restrict it to only Sam and Nitesh. They said Sam and Nitesh. So it may or may not have Dheeraj into this. So that means four countries here. There should be four again here. That means if we talk about Samantha and Nitesh, they should be having four countries common here also. So the answer to my question, which we have, how many countries in Europe were visited only by Nitesh? That will be two, because out of six, four have been shared, and the rest two, one is France, the other one we are not aware about. They both are being visited only by Nilesh. The next question: how many countries in the rest of the world were visited by both Nitesh and Samantha? By Nitesh and Samantha, that is three that we know are being visited by Sam and Nitesh, but not by Dheeraj. And the fourth one is USA, of course, which is common in all. That means the answer to this question gonna be four. Then another question: how many countries in Europe were visited by exactly one of Dheeraj, Samantha, and Nitesh? By exactly one, and that is in which continent they said? They said it should be in Europe. So let's check. In Europe, in total, we have the total countries are 32. So 3 plus 12, that means it should be 17 countries we have here. So let's understand, let's count it. If we talk about Dheeraj, Samantha, and Nitesh, okay. For Nitesh, we know exactly two of the countries in Europe because four are being shared. In Samantha and Dheeraj, if we talk about, we know out of nine Samantha has visited, four have been shared by Nitesh. One has been shared by France. That has been France. That is the only country they said to us. So the rest are going to be five. Sorry, four. Because nine out of nine, four are out. Five remain because France is being shared. So we have four which are being only by Samantha. And when we talk about Dheeraj, only one country, that is France, was being shared by Samantha. So the rest six countries he was a lone visitor. So total comes out to be 2, 4 plus 6 plus 6, 12. So in total we have 12. That is the answer we have here. And that is all for the LRDI section 1. It was a very, very easy section, I believe. A very easy set. It was doable. Thank you for watching, and do like, comment, and share so we can keep coming up with more videos. Thank you so much.